Hi, I'm Heidi with Onigo Stamping. Welcome to my craft corner. Today I have a really cool no stamping craft that is perfect for doing with kids. I know that this year Thanksgiving might look a little bit different. Maybe our festivities are going to be a little bit smaller. But even so, it's fun to decorate and make it truly festive for this fun holiday. So I have a cute little turkey that you can make with paper and a clothespin, and it's perfect for a name place or setting next to your table spot, or maybe clipping on your napkins or the side of your plate. Before I get started though, if you have any questions about stamping or paper crafting, or you need help getting started, go ahead and leave me a comment or send me an email. I'm always happy to help however I can. All of the dimensions for today's projects will be available on my website, and I've put a link to my website in the description to this video. If you liked today's video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. All right, Oni go. Let's get stamping. All right, so I'm going to start out with the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, which is a great trimmer. It's recently been redesigned, and it just works really well. I also have a piece of the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. Originally, this was 6x6. I've already used part of it, but there's still enough left for today's project, and it's still 6 inches this way. So I'm going to cut off a piece that is 3x6. There's 2 blades. Your trimmer comes with 2 blades already on it. The dark gray one is a cutting blade, and the lighter gray one is a scoring blade. So right now, we're going to leave the scoring blade down, and we're going to use the cutting blade and cut this at 3 inches. Now, I want to go ahead and score lines on this every 1/2 inch. You'll notice that there are marks on both sides. So here is where it actually cuts, right down this groove right here. And then there are marks. There's centimeters up here if you want to use centimeters, or there's inches right here. And these lines that are going all the way across are inches. So this bigger one is a 1/2 inch, and then 1, 1.5, 2, etc. On the right side, there's also about 1.5 inches worth of marks too. And when you first start, it's easier to measure, if you're doing just a little measurement, to measure it on the right side. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm making a score mark every 1/2 inch. So I'm going to start by lining it up with this 1/2 inch mark right here. Line up the edge of my paper. I'm going to close the blade or close the arm. And then I'm going to use the scoring blade. And I'm just going to run that over my paper right there. And you can see what's really nice is I can use that scoring blade. My cutting blade is still up here in the machine. I don't have to take it out. There's plenty of room that I can score all the way across and leave that right up there. The same is true at the bottom. So I can leave the scoring blade pushed all the way at the end. And if I'm cutting a 12x12 piece or some bigger paper, there's plenty of room to do that. All right, so there's my first score. And then I'm going to move this out to the 1 inch mark. And I'm going to do that again. And then the very far side, right before it turns dark gray, is a 1.5, and I'll do that. And now I'm going to flip my paper around and start at 2. So I went all the way up to 1.5, so I'm going to go 2. And again, now I'm lining it up on the left side. So I'm going to line it up to the 2.5 mark. And then the 3 mark right here. The 3.5 mark, which is the next one. And I'm just scoring this each time. And then up to the 4 mark. 4.5. 5. And 5.5. Now you can't see with this because we don't need to use it. This is plenty big enough for what we're doing. But if you had a bigger piece of paper that was 8.5 or 12 inches, this arm does fold out and extends all the way over to the side. So it actually goes all the way out to 17 inches. So you can cut a bigger paper. And down at the bottom, this goes down to about 12.5. So you can definitely do a 12x12 or even 11x17 paper in there. So that just closes up nice and easily. Now I've done all those score marks. I'm going to cut this in half this way at 1.5. So I'm making 2 pieces that are 1.5x6. And they have been scored every 1/2 inch, just like that. Now I'm going to set my trimmer aside, and I'm going to show you the other pieces. So we have those 2 pieces that are 1.5 by 6 each one. And then I have 2 circles. These are cut from Cajun Craze cardstock, and they are cut using the layering circles dies. I used the 2 smallest circles. I have a rectangle, a stitched rectangle cut with the stitched rectangle dies, and this is pretty much the smallest one that's in there too. I have a little stitched triangle, and again, it's from the stitched triangle set, and it's the smallest one that's in there too. Then what we need to do is I have a piece of real red cardstock, and I have the Whale Builder punch from the Whale of a Time suite. And I'm going to cut, can you see that, what's supposed to be a water spout? I'm going to actually cut that out, punch that out from my real red cardstock. All right, so now we have all the pieces. Let's go ahead and start assembling. What I want to do with that plaid paper is I'm going to fold it like a fan. Do an accordion fold back and forth. And just fold that down really well. I'm going to do that with both pieces. All right. And then I'm going to put these two together, and I'm going to lay them kind of on top of each other, and I'm going to glue them just like that. So to do that, I'm using my Stampin' Seal Plus because I want it to really stick. And I'm just going to put some glue on the back side of these 2 furthest rows. And then we'll just slide those right together. Line them up and stick them down. Now I have a clothespin. This is just a standard clothespin. It's about 3 inches long. And I'm going to adhere my plaid paper. So I'm going to go all the way to the end. I'm going to put some more Stampin' Seal Plus on the bottom of this. And the Stampin' Seal Plus is really, really strong. So it's a nice adhesive to use for a project like this. I'm going to line that up with the edge of my clothespin. And then we're going to adhere the other side as well. And this is where there's going to be some tension here. It wants to pop off. So this is why we're using the Stampin' Seal Plus. That's really nice and strong. And put some again on the other side. And then we're going to tell this turkey fold that down, and we're going to just fan this over. And don't worry, our turkey will help hold this together too. So we'll fan that over just like that. And there is the feathers for our little turkey. All right. Now we're going to build his body. So I have those 2 circles. I'm going to grab some adhesive. I'm just going to put a little dot of adhesive on the top of the largest circle. And I'm going to adhere the smaller circle kind of over top of that. So this is going to make the turkey head and his body. For his eyes, I have all the trimmings embellishments, and I'm going to use the larger white ones. I have a Sharpie here as well. I'm going to start by adhering these larger white ones right to my turkey's face. Let's see if I can, they were being a little persnickety earlier today, so let's see if I can get them off there without hurting myself. I like to use the Take Your Pick tool though, because it's a little bit easier to lay them where you want them. So we'll just pick up both of those. Put them right on my turkey face. Just like that. And now I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm just going to add the centers to the little turkey eyes. Now, I'm I'm going to close off the picky part of my take your pick tool if I can find, put the cap on that. And I'm going to use the putty side. So there's like a kind of sticky, it's almost like poster putty that you'd put on the wall. And I'm just going to pick up the little wattle with that. Oops. Well, I was going to, but it stuck to my glue. All right, I have to do this with my fingers. So I'm going to put that on our turkey face. And then try this again. I like to hold it with the take your pick tool because it just gives you a little bit more control again, but sometimes the adhesive pulls it right off because that putty is not very sticky because you don't want it to be. So there we go. We'll just put his little front right on there. And then I have some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to turn my turkey over. I'm going to put 2 Stampin' Dimensionals on his body. Peel off the backs. And we're going to adhere this to the front here. So that just goes right on there. You can still clip your little turkey, but he's kind of holding it all together. And then that rectangle that I have, you can put that right on the front. You could write somebody's name on there, or you could stamp it and say Happy Thanksgiving. For now, I'm just going to leave it blank. Put a little adhesive in the center. And I'll glue them to the front of my turkey. And just makes a fun little turkey that you could set on the table. You could just set it and it would stand upright just like that if you wanted to, or you could clip it maybe to your little napkin to hold your napkin together. Just a cute little, you could clip it to the side of your plate even. Just something fun, something festive to do for Thanksgiving. Wasn't that a cute little turkey? I hope that you take this inspiration and make it with the kids in your life, or maybe just make it on your own, because making Thanksgiving decorations is a fun little thing to do. If you liked today's video, I hope that you subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and then come back and see me for more card making and paper crafting tips, techniques, and inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.